Alright, making this video a second time because the camera failed me. But, you know, shit happens. All for the best somehow, right? Right, sure. Anyway, so I went over a couple of subjects. This sort of has to do with the mystic and feudalism or fatalism or whatever you want to call it, give-upism, silliness-ism. And then sort of just this whole idea of guruing, arguing, the rules of argument, people's right to be offended, people's right to run away, people's right to bullshit, people's right to change the subject, people's, you know, which I've talked about before. It's just very frustrating to have a rational conversation because people just keep doing the redundant thing. Mystic brings that up a little bit here, just a sentence worth, but you know, it's just all these cheats, and somehow you can't call the cheaters out, and it's just whatever. It's all very And you know, I sort of feel some of this in the sense of I'm playing some sort of role, which, you know, I've sort of explained before. I just make arguments. You know, I'm not a you know, I don't carry batons or wear a hat or badges and salutes, and I don't really run any of that part of it. I just construct arguments, and that's it. It's the end of my participation. Is you see it, you call it what it is, and you move on, and kind of. And I know some of this is consequential to people. It screws up their life, and the mystic's always talking about this, optimizing your peace of mind and your ability to whatever, feel good and comfortable, you know, rowing through the cesspool of decomposing things. Once wases and are slowly not becomings, whatever you want to call it. Not the opposite of singularity. Yeah, there's a lot of that in this lake we are motorboating through. Perhaps literally. Figuratively, literally. It all does seem like a wank, and that's all people are looking for is, you know, something to hump. And it's got to be humpable and all that kind of, you know, it's just all very base and disgusting. That this is the best we can do with this big giant brain, and is do this thing where they do all these words to say, I quit, I'm running, I'm going home. You know, fuck you cause, people. You know, I'm going home. Yeah, this is very, very disappointing, disturbing, irritating, annoying. Anyway, the Richard thing, I don't know. That's one of his commenters, I guess. We have a clash of two world views. I am thinking the exchange of views is more important than being right. I don't know what the fuck that's about. I didn't ask you to do anything. No threats were found since your last summary. Wow, gee, I have no threats. Excellent. Except for all the swords of Damocles hanging over my head right now. Yes, everything's okay. Windows are still, everything's okay. Don't worry, be happy. Eat some donuts. Go motorboating. Fuck you. Liar. Computer. You're lying. Everything isn't okay. I know this. Anyway. The trouble with being right is that it's an end of the game, right? And this is, you know, this is not even true, right? I mean, this isn't really all that, the learning curve isn't all that heavy, right? Even this economic stuff, he did this over the peak stuff, he's got to say in hindsight, oh shit, this could all done, I could have done these 4 years with 2 paragraphs and been done with this nonsense. Because it's all kind of simple. Yes, they make up tickets, they give them to people, people say I own, and that's it. It's not complicated. I have your debt, I own it, I own you, essentially. I own anything you have because you're indebted to me. That's the way it works. Duh. Anyway, the trouble with being right, okay, right. Life is a long haul for being right early. Well, that's also kind of rubbish, but yes, it is. And, but again, that doesn't change whether being right is worth something. And goddamn asshole, it's worth something. This is, you know, he's just leading up to his being right doesn't matter. It's not worth anything. It doesn't matter. Just be an asshole because, you know, it's an asshole world. You'll fit in. Everything will be fine. You'll eat some donuts, go motorboating, and everything will be great. No, it won't be, because you'll end up perpetuating the very disease that you are, and that's a disgusting thing to do. your right has to be pretty damn special to keep you going for a lifetime. Well, again, it's lots to go on. I mean, being right and then being able to convince people that you're right are two different projects, and they both have their own funnesses. Like this part, arguing. Oh yeah, this is just so much fucking goddamn fun. I can't imagine doing anything else that's more fun than this. No, I can't imagine, and I have to do this because you're fucking idiots. But it's not so much a long term that is the problem here. So it's not so much the long term that's the problem here. That's the funniest line ever. Present, very small. Future, very big. Present, very small. Future, very big. This is a fact. Past, very big compared to the present, very small. That's the way it works. There's no doubt about it. That's one of those being right things, and apparently, yeah, you just don't like that truth, so we're just going to rub that one off the board. Okay, fine. As I noted with religious types, well, that's exactly what the religious types do. They just wipe out all the facts and just say, let's not deal with facts. Let's deal with what we want to think the truth is, so we can go eat donuts and be motorboating. There is no conversation to be had. Well, yes, you're also about as cement-headed as they come. One statement of what is presumed to be right, and that is done. Well, again, it's presumed the quality of the right argument has to be somewhere in this conversation to mean something. There's a big difference between being right because you have a big giant ton of evidence, OJ's guilty as fuck, and saying something silly like UFOs abducted my mother-in-law and blah blah blah, and they have a whole big story full of absolute crap that you made up, and I don't have any pictures on my cell phone because the battery went dead and blah 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 blah. Yeah, bullshit. If it goes on, it's not a discussion. It's just one-sided restatement after restatement. Well, again, discussing some stupid theory is a waste of time. Discussing, well, how practical is the three-bear story? Is it really possible for bears to tie their own shoes and to use spoons and to eat porridge anyway? Do they like porridge? Well, I suppose they'll eat anything, so porridge is possibly a viable food for a bear, but I'm sure they don't put on their jackets and then go out for a walk to wait for their porridge to get cool and sleep in beds. That's just kind of nonsense. Yeah, that's not that fucking difficult to just say, you're too fucking stupid, we're not going to have a conversation, I'm just going to hope, that, nature takes its course quickly. What we arrive at is boring. Well, that's your description. I don't see anything about this as boring. It's horrifying, terrifying, scary as fuck, all that kind of stuff, but boring, I really don't see as part of the problem. It may be the rightest of right things ever, but it just becomes boring. Well, again, religion's never the rightest of the right things ever, so I don't know what your analogy has to do with the actual facts. It just sounds like a piece of word garbagey soup thing. It's a word salad, word vegetables, word boring words thrown together in a silly sentence. It means absolutely nothing. Religious people aren't boring, they're fucking insane. They're goddamn stupid as a brick. So we get down to the strange questions. Are we after being right? Whether you're after it or not, the point is being right important? And yes, it's goddamn important. Is being able to drive a bus important if you're a bus driver? Is being able to drive a train important if you're a train driver? Is being able to fly a plane important if you're flying planes? Yes, 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 yes. And my strange answer is no, not really, because you're an idiot. I would prefer to never be right, but always have ongoing conversations, because that's like motorboating somehow. Somehow I get a little bit of a chubby, having silly jackass conversations with silly jackasses about stupid things like, well, how tall is your grass in your lawn? My grass in my lawn is about this tall, and it's kind of fluffy and sparse, but how, let's talk about absolute nonsense, because we give a fuck about that shit. No, we don't. So this is all crap. To each their own. Yes, well, fuck that too. Okay, yes, well, typhoid Mary's in town. To each your own. Yeah, just go ahead, get some typhoid for free. Let's not have a panic or anything. No, let's just say to each its own. Go ahead, spread diseases, who cares? Some people want to be right. No, some people want to live in a civilization. They want a world that's sane. They don't want a bunch of unnecessary harm because it makes them nauseous and sickly. They can't stand looking at all this waste and it makes them fucking sick. That's what some people want. And other people find pleasure in discussion. Other people, seem to be distracted by absolute bullshit and seem to be entertained by absolute bullshit because their brain is just full of absolute bullshit. And apparently the mystic is one of these people that ate some bad salad or whatever the fuck he did. He drank too many goddamn vegetables and now his brain is turned into vegetable. OTP is officially for discussion. Yes, we don't do any of this right and wrong stuff. What a crock of shit. He's just spent years telling everybody how wrong the media is, how wrong the propaganda is, how it's all a big pile of fucking goddamn shit, how they're engineering this, and how they're tweaking that, and how they're fucking you here, and how they're fucking you there. And now he just says, no, it's not really about right and wrong, it's just about talking about it for absolutely no good reason, because we somehow like to talk about stupid charts and look at stupid little arrows pointing in stupid little directions for no goddamn good reason. Fuck you, bullshit alert. So people who think they are right on their side are welcome to stay away from these parts. Yes, well, you don't, frankly, you don't even allow people to be part of your parts. Idiot. Anyway, all right, Adam Curtis. So I did look up some documentaries by this guy. I remember actually seeing some of this shit back in the 70s and the 80s. He was kind of a... one of those reporters who went places and almost got assassinated 5 million times and was kind of daring and bold and, all that stuff. And he's, about the same age as all, the Mystic, me, Darwin's Hand, all the same kind of club of old fart, except they seem about 576 years older than me because they just seem to have given up thinking, being logical, being rational. No, fuck that. I'm just going to polish my Republican badge. Alright, anyway, I don't know what it is about this stuff, but I just love it. I'm prepared for him to be my guru. His stuff could be my Bible. I bow before him. So I haven't been able to play this video because it's, BBC, and they won't let me play it because I'm an American. And so whatever that bullshit is, fuck them. But if the Mystic's liking it, then it must be some feudal thing, like, oh, everything's just out of our control, and the controlling rich people are controlling us, and the morons like Donald Trump, who can't figure out how to do anything right, somehow they have all the strings, and they're pulling all the string. Oh, yeah, bullshit. Alright, resonates like a great big resonating thing. I watch little bits at a time, not to get over it too quickly. Yes, it's like Christmas for him. Hearing about how it's okay to be a feudalist. He loves that. Oh, it's okay to be a feudalist and not give a shit because it's all out of my hands. I can't control anything because all the big powerful people have all the big power and I don't have any. I will have to watch it many times so I'll be able to spot the influences on my OTP thinking. The main one I have spotted so far is you could be called my abandoned hope. So this is what he's selling now. Abandoned hope. That makes any goddamn sense. You're sitting here in a circumstance. There's, typhoid Marys making a whole Borg of typhoid Marys, and you're just going to sit around and say, well, can I motorboat on typhoid? I have felt very bad about saying I don't take on other people's fights because it is the sort of thing that leads to anarchy. No, it also leads to decay and squalor and just disgusting, nobody cleans up their shit anymore and everybody just makes a horrid mess. But it seems like a good advice in today's circumstances. Why? Why is it ever good advice? You just decided you're sick of it, you want to give up, you want to quit. Well, that's fine. You're called a quitter and a weasel and a traitor and lots of things, but you're not going to be called a hero, and you're not going to be called, oh, that's the rational thing to do, is to give up and quit. And sit there and just pretend that, oh, well, I could never have done anything, and I know it for sure. And this is one of those things where no matter how outside the chance is of you being the hero, of you gaining Superman powers and being able to overcome the monster that's coming, the fact is, it's a cause you have to invest in. The future is just so much bigger than your stupid little motorboating, donutting little brain being happy. That is such a tiny, tiny thing in this gigantic, colossal horror that's taking place in this fucking plant, on this planet's surface. This grinding and consuming fucking, horrific cannibalism that's taking place, and to give up and to quit and to pussy out, it's just that. It's giving up, it's quitting, it's pussying out, it's just cowardly, wimpy, selfish cuntery. And yeah, you don't want to hear that. You want somebody to call you a fucking hero because you gave up and you quit. No, you're a fucking pussy. The world is too big and complicated to worry our pretty little heads over. grab any peace of mind while you still can, because somehow it matters whether your one little brain is happy and if trillions of brains are unhappy. We can sentence trillions of brains to torture because, well, we got to eat a donut. So yes, the donut was worth it. But your fucking 40-cent donut really worth trillions. So every time you cut it up and you're taking a mouthful of your stupid gratification, will you just recognize that, well, I did this at the risk and consequence of trillions of things getting tortured because I just couldn't be bothered. I mean, that is just such crap. You suck. You don't need to do anything else. You just fucking suck. That's the definition of what you are. You are fucking suck. If you can't think better than that, do better than that. No one's asking for you to give up your whole life. You don't have to quit eating donuts. You don't have to quit eating motorboating. We're just talking about, what, 4 hours a week, 6 hours a week? Oh yeah, 6 hours a week. You actually put on a thinking brain and say, okay, I'm not going to think like a self-interested donut-eating motorboater. I'm going to think like a brain can think. I'm going to use the brain to do analysis and be accurate and be goddamn disciplined, and I'm just not going to think about what's in it for me for 6 fucking hours a week. Don't tell me you can't do that bullshit. You're just giving up because you're just a weasel, a selfish cunt. 6 hours. Not asking too much. 6 hours a week. Fuck you. You suck. Alright. I've done a full day in England and I asked myself, how can people stay sane watching television? And I think the answer may be they can't. Well, of course they can't. And yes, people are retarded and stupid. Idiocracy is on the move. And you just getting out of the way and saying, go ahead. Yes, you have the right of way because I'm a coward and useless. I won't even put up my hand and say, stop, please. I won't even wish that you stop. The world has probably always been pretty fucked up. Well, duh. But it's the size of the cogs that have changed. So somehow he's saying that it's all out of control now. And there used to be little local watch-size cogs. No, that was always an illusion. Okay, Rome fell. Big things happened. Huge, gigantic implications took place. Little communities ended up with fucking smallpox, and they spread it to other people. And then they put it on a boat and they sent it to another place. Always big cogs were rolling. Just people weren't seeing them. But they were the same big giant fucking cogs. Okay, the big giant cog of moronic religions, stupid philosophies that never recognized our real origin, our real human goddamn fucking nature, which is basically bug, and that if we want to rise above it, we actually have to rise above it on purpose. It's not going to happen for fun. You're not going to rise above it motorboating. You're not going to rise above it eating fucking donuts. That's not going to do the rise above kind of thing. So this is all more just bullshit, more fucking let's all be heroes as we are cowards and traitors. Let's change the language so being a coward and a traitor makes you a fucking hero. No, it doesn't. But now the cogs are monstrous great things that roll around the world, and no, they're really not. And as the current politics demonstrates, which is really quite ironic again, is that we can catch them all. We can catch them in their lies. We can catch them in their stupid little dirty deeds. They're being obliged to be more and more accountable. They can't hide their little secret and it all comes out and it gets exposed, and we can see how we're getting lied to because we have a public position and then a private position, and Donald Trump 4 years ago can say he's pro-choice, and now he can say the Bible's his favorite book, and yes, abortionists should be sent to prison. And all that we can see it. It's exposed. So what are you talking about? We've never had more power to knock them down. They've never looked more ridiculous. They've never been more fucking naked. I mean, the naked emperors have never been more fucking goddamn naked. And here you are bitching that you don't have any power or control. This is when we do have power and control. This is the time to fix it. This is the time to take the system away from the two stupid damn parties. Just admit the party you support is a goddamn cabal of special interest, and admit, oh yes, well the other one sucks even more, but it doesn't goddamn matter. Yours sucks, and it's time to fix yours. Okay, clean your house, clean your, change your behavior, and then the rest of the behavior in the world will change. Okay, but it's not going to change if you keep selling out, if you keep eating if they keep selling you little motorboat tickets. All right, they keep sending over the hookers, and you keep buying. there is very big call to make about whether the world exists or not. Now, you just say, fuck. See, that's when they go to their ultimate extreme. They just really want to make sure there is no conversation that's rational ever again. So let's just blow up the whole idea that language means anything, words mean anything, concepts mean anything, and certainly torture doesn't mean anything. So don't worry about anything. Just be happy, because there's nothing to worry about, because there's no world, there's no universe, there's no anything, because I'm just going to turn it into a bunch of fucking electrons. Fucking cunt! Alright, in a guru sort of way, whatever, no, in a fucking insane lunatic sort of way, it is not so much whether the world exists, it's whether its existence is important. So you can't figure out whether it's important. I can goddamn figure out it's goddamn important. Somebody starts speculating about creating 1 trillion of me and doing anal probes and torturing them and doing all kinds of disgusting centipede thingies and all kinds of grotesque awful things. Yeah, I'm going to be able to say that's a world I don't want to fucking goddamn happen. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I can to stop that. I'm jumping on whatever grenade it takes to jump on to make that not happen, because that's just too bad. And that's a big giant future again, little tiny present, big giant future, one little individual, nothing, okay? So billions of people, trillions of animals, all being ground up in this goddamn thing, and you can't sit there and you can't spend 6 hours a week putting on a real brain and saying, okay, I'll be rational for 6 fucking hours, and the rest of the time I'll do my silly, I just love listening, I want to hear about the earwax, in your ears and stuff, and let's talk about how, green your eyes are and stuff, because that's fun. I love discussions about how green is. I think green is very green, but other people think green is just a little bit green. So what do you think? Do you think green is really green, or do you think green's just a little green? It's so fascinating. Oh, I love these discussions. No, it's all fucking puke, you fucking cunt. Anyway, it does make for a big black and white, black or white, whatever that means. No, it doesn't. It makes for nothing, okay? This fucking bullshit, having a conversation where, well, we don't even know if reality is real, so why should we worry about anything? Because we don't even know that reality is real. I mean, god damn, this is disgusting. It works back to what we call guru peace of mind, or woo-woo way. Yeah, exactly. We just fucking blow up the idea of being intelligent or clever or smart or anything like that, and we just say, what do we really want to be? Oh, that's right, we want to be a selfish, donut-eating motorboater, and we don't want to hear about anything called the problem. Because let there be no doubt, gurus are saying science has got it all wrong. Well, science has become the biggest poofter, okay, in the poofter room. I mean, they're powdering up and putting on their makeup and perverting reality all over the goddamn place, so they're motorboatable, and science has been yes, it's been raped by the happy makeover. It is this is all there is thing, well, whatever that is. What this is whether the world experienced has been on the go for billions of years or not. Well, that's a scientific fact. You really can't deny it, so why fuck with that one? The guru raised to know whether it has arisen or cause and effect doesn't matter a jot. Oh, okay, it doesn't matter. It does matter. I mean, you have to understand your origin if you're going to be able to deal with your function. Okay, your function is part of your origin. The function is where the origin is, we're bugs. The function is we're bug-like. If we want to do better than bug-like, well, we're going to have to do it on purpose. All you can be sure of is that there is something, then that is all there is. There is that if there is something, then that is all there is. Well, again, I don't need there to be more, okay? I mean, I've certainly felt enough pain stuff. I don't need pain to be twice as painful, so I don't need there to be big, huge expansions in the possibilities of possible experiences. I think the possible experiences that are experienceable are fully peacock feather, enough colors, all of that kind of crap. I don't need any more fucking colors. I don't need any more blah blah blah, so I don't even know what that means. You'll find it too boring somehow, I don't know, but whatever, it sounds like bullshit. I think it is bullshit. I know it is bullshit. The whole guru thing is a time thing. Oh, whatever, now we're going to get to this time dimension. Oh, there is no reality because there's no now and there's no then and there was no tomorrow because it ain't here yet and blah 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 blah. Even though we know it's going to be here, it's going to show up. So all this is a big pile of fucking evasion bullshit because you just want to eat donuts and motorboat. The guru thing is that there's only one thing you can be sure of now. See there, they've turned into this now thing. No, you can be sure of later, and you can be damn sure, really sure of fuck ups in the past. So you can see the fuck ups of the past, you can see the horror of the past, you can detail the fucking fact of it, and you can recognize that that's something not to repeat, and it's going to be rinse and repeat unless you do something to stop the process, unless you raise your hand and say, no, I don't think it's a good idea. That's the minimum. That's all you have to, I don't think it's a good idea, and if you give me a button to push, I'll push the button that says no. So all I have to do is make the button then. You see, you don't have to do much work, but yeah, you do have to raise your hand and be capable of dropping your finger on the button that says no, no more bullshit. The science thing is that there are loads of other times that have been and maybe even will be. Yes, that's right, that's right, and that's just too factual. And for you to think there's some doubt about that just makes you one motherfucking cunt. To try to sell the idea that there's some doubt about it, to pretend that this is how intelligent people slice and dice reality into this absolute crap. We know our animalistic nature. We know that our brain is a great scheming tool, and the game is just kind of deflected a little bit, you know, a little bit of diffraction. Diffract it, okay, to a better purpose than stupid selfish cuntery. And here for you to sit there and spend these words, these little, let's do a little bit of poetry on the subject of being a selfish cunt, like there's some sort of point in that bullshit. It's a stupid, idiotic, ignorant, goddamn dumbass thing to be selling. And yes, apparently this happens to stupid white males, okay? They hit a certain age, they just become selfish, dumb, cunt Republicans or something, and they say, I have mine, and I'm kind of safe, and I have enough bullets, and I got a gun, so fuck it, who cares? I got my gold hidden, you know, whatever. Fuck you. Stupid. Stupid bastards. Alright, so hopefully this is a video this time. I guess I won't take my chances. I'll just say, okay, I've got this part done. If I want to add something later, I can add something later about this whole personal experiencing of life and trying to be the idea, the simple idea having in your head that here I am alive, I have this resource, I have this ability to move things, to manipulate things, to pick things up, to do all kinds of things, and to sit there and rationally understand that maybe I should do that process in some way that prevents Typhoid Mary from giving people typhoid. That I should try to move and interact in some way that actually prevents bad shit from happening. Wow, that's just too simple, isn't it? And you're such bugs that you can't figure out that minimum. That there's two ways to pick up this bottle and put it down. Okay? The way that does the world no good because you're just too lazy to pay any attention. Or you sit there and actually place it down right on little Typhoid Mary's ass, and she can't move. She's stuck. She can't give typhoid to nobody. Yeah. You squish the bugs that are carrying the typhoid. That's what you do. Because the future wants you to. The future's begging you to. The future's at least hoping you will. Hoping you did. They're almost counting on it. They just really need you to you know, fix it. Because if you don't, they're going to have it up their ass. Cunt. Okay, that's enough.